This is not the start we wanted, friends. This is rough. The Edmonton Oilers down 0-2 to start the season. Evander Kane poking fun at the situation today, saying we're in 32nd place. What are we doing kind of deal, making fun of the whole thing. And let me be honest with you, this is an embarrassment for the Edmonton Oilers to start this way. And we'll delve deeper into it. But on all accords, everything start to finish, I'm not laying blame anywhere but the Edmonton Oilers players themselves. They're all great people, nothing to their character, but everything to how they have approached this start of the season. Friends, when you start the year, first week of September, you know what? You exit the playoffs. I said this on Oilers Fanatics Rundown, end of the post game against Game 2, right? I'm not going to panic about this 0-2 start, but I'm upset. I'm angry in a sense at what has transpired through 2 games from the Edmonton Oilers. We'll talk about why I think the Canucks deserve a lot of credit, but again, that's not exactly exclusive to explaining this whole situation. So friends, when we look at it, the Oilers showed up, like I said, first week of September. They talked tough after that loss to Vegas, right? No. We're not satisfied. We're going to go out there and win it next year. We can do it. You have an off season, yeah, you get rid of Costin, you get rid of Yamamoto, you add Brown, you don't really change much. I guess you add Adam Ernie, which to his character and everything, nothing against him, but he's not the guy that's going to push you over the top. And again, we'll discuss that more in detail. But for the Oilers here, yeah, you lost Costin, big whoop. But maybe if you want to have a conversation about the coaching staff, Game 1 against the Canucks, Vinny Desharnais sets the tone right out of the gate with a scrap against this upstart Vancouver Canucks guy who is going out there and making a name for himself, and you scratch him the next game to give Adam Ernie his first game as an Edmonton Oiler, okay? So that's, if you want to go after the coaching staff for anything, that's where I would like to begin, not with the line combinations, not with anything, because all of that I place on the players. And when it comes to it, as I mentioned, right, the start in September, talking tough, talking all this game, they are so good, they're looking so great. They come into the preseason, they look discombobulated, disinterested, not lack of effort, lackadaisical, and it's just like, what is going on here? And we go through the preseason, gets a little better at the end, and then you walk into Game 1, and I mean, sleepwalk is a good term for it. Didn't show up, didn't bother leaving the dressing room, just went for a skate. There's 1,000,001 ways to describe that effort in Game 1. Now, all of a sudden, post-game, Game 1, next day after Game 1 of the season opener, Jay Woodcroft, all the Oilers are talking about, man, we had a big meeting focusing up. Oh my goodness, right? We solved it. We're good, right? We know what's expected. We're going to go out there and be better in Game 2. Trust us, right? Trust us. And they come out in Game 2. And friends, if you were at the home opener, you know what? We all witnessed that 8-1 beatdown in Game 1. We lost 4-3, a 1-goal game on home ice in the home opener. Generally speaking, you would be thrilled to watch a 1-goal game where the Oilers are just absolutely all third period long pushing to tie it. They outshoot the Canucks 41-16, and it still feels like we got outshot 41-16 and we lost 8-1. I have not been more disappointed, more busted up about a 1-goal loss at home than I have been by that one. And I'm not talking like, oh yeah, like last season we lost a heartbreaker against this team. No, I watched that on TV. I didn't watch that in person. And unfortunately, I watched this one in person. So for the Oilers, they go all this time since the elimination in May against the Vegas Golden Knights, who went on to win the Stanley Cup, right? We lost to the best team in the NHL that year. We did that against Colorado the year before. We know what it takes. We know what's expected. Well, I will borrow an old adage that has been around my family for a long time, and something I grew up listening to every time you kind of got what you deserved, and more or less, right? Is the old adage of, you were talking when you should have been listening. And when I talk about this, no way better to sum it up than Rick Tocchet and what he brings to the Vancouver Canucks. You look at the turnaround, and as I mentioned on the Oilers Fanatic Rundown post-game, is Rick Tocchet has brought a whole new level of compete, effort, work ethic, everything to this Vancouver Canucks team, and the turnaround has been amazing compared to where they were when he stepped aboard last season following Bruce Boudreau's exit. And honestly, the man himself knows it. He came down the steps at Rogers Place as we're just meeting up with some folks down in the little street level entrance, and somebody had asked him for a photo at the top of the stairs. I'm like, I'm not going to do that, but I do want to say something to him. And I raised my voice and said, hey, coach, great job on the turnaround. It is looking good. And he walked through security, flashed me a big thumbs up and a wry, not a wry smile, but a wry smirk, and said, like, in that, he knows he's doing a good job, and he knows he's got his team playing the way they want to. So in this, yes, credit to the Canucks, because, right, when you talk about the phrase, you were talking when you should have been listening, well, let me tell you, the Oilers have done a lot of that. And what does that phrase mean? For those of you that haven't heard that before, it means, like you were lipping off and you caught one in the mouth. Well, the Oilers, guess what? They caught one in the mouth game 1, lipped off again after game 2, and caught a second one in the mouth. That's a new level of dumb, honestly, right? You get socked in the mouth once, okay, you're probably smart enough, right? The old adage, you were talking when you should have been listening, you listen next time. Well, instead of going out there, honestly earning it and doing it the right way, the Oilers come out of game 1. No, we fixed this. We're good to go. Let's go. We're going to take this on home ice. Great. I love the confidence. But guess what? You got socked in the mouth a second time. So at this point, that's what upsets me most about the Oilers. They talk this big, tough game and come out of the gates just absolutely getting socked in the mouth twice to start the season by the Vancouver Canucks, who, yes, to their credit, have been amazing out of the start. But again, we're talking about the Edmonton Oilers and a team that Leon and Connor on any given night take over and win it themselves. Guess what? There has not been one player on the ice for the Oilers capable of even starting to take over the game in the first 2 games, despite all our big guys talking this big tough, we're Stanley Cup contenders, we're going to go out there, it's cup or bust, oh, we got this. And the reason I'm upset is because, as I said on the Oilers Fanatic Rundown, which is linked at the end of this video, by the way, is, to borrow a term from somebody that texted me post-game, it's all lip service so far from the Edmonton Oilers. They talk this big, tough game, don't show up, don't do nothing about it, and get, well, right, they're talking instead of being listening, and they've been punched in the mouth 2 games in a row by the Vancouver Canucks to kickstart the season. I'm not panicked. We're not missing the playoffs by any means. But it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, figure it out. You got to be better than this. And you know that. And you said you are. And yet this is the result out of the gate. You have got to be kidding me. And people are blaming the coaches. They're blaming the defense. They're blaming the goaltenders. Some people are questioning Dustin Schwartz. All of this, as Oilers fans, all in a frenzy. And yet, you know what? Nobody is sitting there saying, oh, wait, maybe it's as simple as you shouldn't be running your mouth and not backing it up. And that's exactly what the Oilers are doing right now. Talking, and they're getting smacked around because all they're doing is talking instead of showing up and trying to punch that other team in the mouth as well. And it's not that you need Kling Kostin in the lineup to punch somebody around in the mouth, because clearly, you know what? If Vinny Desharnais filled that role game 1, you still lost 8-1. It don't matter, right? It physically doesn't matter. If you're punching them in the mouth physically, or if you're punching them in the mouth in the scoreboard, you ain't winning. So end of the day is the Oilers need to go out there and earn a victory, go out there and play the way that they're talking about, and go and do it. And you know what? Maybe you won't get punched in the mouth, because if you end up with the 2 points, you've punched the other team in the mouth. So at the end of the day, it is just upsetting, and you can see it, visibly angry for the first time in a long time, that the Edmonton Oilers would go an entire summer, an entire captain's skate, an entire training camp, and sit here and talk a tough game, and then walk into the first 2 games of the season and deliver us that. Because I am sorry, if you want to say it's on the defense, it's on the goaltenders, it's on the coaching staff, it's on the GM not making the team bigger, tougher, better, whatever, and it's on trading away these guys, or it's on the goalie coach. End of the day, no, it ain't on nothing about that, other than the players not backing up what they have lipped off about. And that is why I'm upset. You want to lie to me? That's fine. But lie to me about something that doesn't matter. You want to lie to me about being serious about your job, about wanting to go out there and win, and all you do is not show up and lose? I'm going to be upset. That's fair. That's valid. I don't need somebody to validate that for me because I know 100% if you're going out there guaranteeing wins and you're putting up losses, that ain't on anything but you running your mouth. So end of the day, when it comes to tomorrow, what I'm looking from the Edmonton Oilers is something in terms of the win column to show that they're backing up what they were saying. Because it don't matter. You can fire Woody, hire a new coach. You can fire Ken, you can hire a new GM. You can fire Dustin Schwartz, hire a new goalie coach. But if the players don't want to back up what they said, they are going to be the cause of this all, right? It's not the coaching staff, right? Jay can put Connor and Leon together all he wants. He can keep them apart all he wants. It doesn't matter if the players aren't willing to go out there and back up what they said. You put a target on your back like they did, my goodness, you got to be able to back it up, and they just have not been able to so far through 2 games. Yes, credit to the Canucks for doing what they did in those first 2 games, because Rick Tocchet is the exact team that this Edmonton Oilers do not want to run into when they're playing like that, because they will absolutely, under Rick Tocchet, those Canucks, do exactly what they have done and punch you in the mouth. But I'm sorry, we know this Oilers team is better, and they just got to back it up at this point because this is embarrassing. This is a terrible start to kickstart things off. That is where things end tonight, friends. Thank you for being aboard. I will say there is a little bit more to this video than I kind of intended. It's something I kind of threw on in my head here at the end, basically as I was planning this whole video at the end of the day, leaving work, driving to Crossfield. Simply put, friends, something that I need just to put out there in the universe for a little bit of accountability. I talk quite heavily about how I've been sober for 3 years now, and honestly, it's something, again, to those of you that pretty much sit there and chat me up about it in the chat on the live streams and stuff as well. It's something I know a lot of you have gone through. It's something a lot of you either have admitted to struggling with or have been able to conquer over the past, say, 11, 12, 13, 4 years, whatever the case might be. And I will be quite honest with you. It has nothing to do with the Edmonton Oilers, but I'm very glad it is hockey season. In 3 years being sober now, dating back to August long weekend 2020, this summer, this fall, as just a really great summer, great fall. It was really tough at times to, what's one drink, right? What's one drink? And of course, everybody that doesn't know the situation as closely as I do, right? What's one drink going to hurt? And I'm sitting here telling them, guys, it starts with one drink, then it's one drink a week, then it's one drink a day. Then I don't know what's happened, and I have a life crossroads to get to again. And that's something that I'm very proud of that I got to and came out the better for this time. So to anyone back home that's struggling, hey, you know what? End of the day, I've made it 3 years, but I'm still struggling through it. So keep on keeping on. Good on you. The Oilers, don't worry about it. Don't let it ruin your day. Sounds like it ruined my day a little bit today stewing on it, but end of the day, the Oilers will figure it out as they always do, right? October, November, December ain't our months. We know that. That's been time eternal over the past 5 years doing this. But at the same rate, we're all fighting our own battles as well. And hey, you know what? I talk a tough game about being sober, but you got to back it up at the end of the day. So if you need that little encouragement today, know I'm fighting and keep on keeping on, and I'm backing it up day after day. So I know you can as well back home. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks for being aboard. I am up on out of here.